once again, people, because we cannot have too many of these. Here's another Quake C mod extravaganza, whatever you may have it. This is basically the Observer mod. Yeah, that's basically the best name I got for this. There's also a Jaffle patch apparently to this. But let's see here. Blah blah blah, lots of words, things that I don't really like. So confusing. But let's see here. Yeah, there's plenty of words, but not much that really actually means of anything. So let's see here. The best way to really figure this out is going to be to load it up and see what exactly happens, rather than trying to figure out what in God's name it is. Server report, Impulse 215, and then it all just jumped away. Well, that was too quick. But yeah, Impulse 215 is basically to do something. Yeah, I'm not sure what it does, but there's Impulse 215. Let's see here. Oh, that's a server report. Okay, so if I do that, that basically causes this to come up again, which tells me everything once more for a brief second. And yeah, as you see, it's just a couple things to add to the server to basically add new control to the server, apparently. 215 is just basically to help, so it's totally worthless otherwise. Let's see here. Like I said, this one's not the cleanest of ones to read. Let's see here. Lots of words. Well, a couple hours after I got my registered version played on all my favorite servers, I realized something. In all the Quake pre-hype, there was a lot of talk about being able to watch death matches without being involved. Well, I pulled out the Quake C code I've been not able to play with and started hacking with it around. Tried some things that worked and some things that didn't. After about 3 hours, I found a pretty good combo and started testing. Having two computers really comes in handy for this. What I've created is in essence a ghost. Invisible, invincible, fly and no clip on. Unable to interact with surroundings. You have the eyes and the invincible glow, so people will see you flying around. But I don't think you'll be mistaken for a player. Flying? Once you decide to observe, you can't go back. I did this for a couple reasons. The main one was to keep people from using it to cheat. You lose all weapons and the ability to use them. You can't pick up anything. You can't interfere with player movement. This applies until the end of the level, or you leave the game. Well, that sounds pretty harsh. So with no clip and fly on, you can take a spot virtually anywhere in the level and sing watch. It's very easy to follow a player or firefight with these attributes on too. So basically, if you type in Impulse 210, this is Jaffo mode, which allows me to be a ghost apparently. And then if I type in Impulse 212, that's Impulse actually off. I want 211. This allows me no clip to the world as I wish. And then I just turn it off with Impulse 212. So yeah, everything else is basically me moving around to observe everything. I'm basically invincible, invulnerable. I can't use my weapon. I can see it here, but I can't actually switch anything or actually shoot with it. So yeah, it's still on the screen. It still looks like you can fire with it, but you actually can't. And yeah, Impulse 211, you no clip into the world. Impulse 212, you shut it off. Simple enough. And the ability to spectate, no clip, and move around the level as you need. So yeah, basically this allows you to watch people fire around and fight around. So you see, really not the biggest of things in the world. Not really useful for the server because really we don't need some way to really be watching people in spectator mode. You know, it's really not that crazy of a server or whatnot. It's not like a deathmatch based thing. It's co-op. And co-op, you don't really need a spectator mode. So, needless to say, rather pointless. for us, but there it is. There's another little feature. Anyway, he modified a bunch of different files. He talks about how exactly he modified it all. He also added the code for multi-skin, as it was already in his QC files, and he thinks it was a great patch. So, yeah, needless to say, that's actually, it's Jaffle patch is really the name. All the code he has inserted for this patch is clearly commented, so if you want to import it into your current QC files, it should be very easy. Very thanks to Dennis for the multi-skin patch. It's his fault I started this. And yeah, basically the whole 1.1 is basically the code for the server report, which displays server rules upon entering the game. The only changes made are the server news function and the Impulse 215. Otherwise, really no changes at all between this and 1.0. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just basically being an observer and watching around. There's really still the issue that there needs to be a way to allow the server to bump observers if the game is full. There needs to be a way to allow the server to only let certain people access to observer. He's thinking maybe by name. And more will be added as he gets some more feedback. Anyone figure out what JAFO stands for yet? See reference Blue Thunder. It's a certain movie. Anyway, that's really this patch. Yeah, not really the biggest or most exciting things in the world. It's yet another spectator mode. We've seen a few of these, but this one's implemented in a very different way. As you see, a lot of people are trying to pull off a lot of similar things here. Spectator mode is one of those things that people really wanted for Deathmatch. It's the reason why almost every FPS game going forward has a spectator mode built in. But you can see all this stuff kind of in the works right here, and plenty of them therefore being made. So, yeah, needless to say, like I said, I can't really verify how good or bad this one is because it's all for Deathmatch, and I really could care less about Deathmatch much. So, thank you all for watching as usual. It has been an adventure, and I shall see you all, well, next time.